Yo, what is up guys, this is TyrannixOne here, and welcome to another My Viewpoint sort of episode. And this time I'm going to talk about the COD World War II trailer. Now this was announced like a few days ago, or came out a few days ago, but we've known for some time now that the next COD game was going to be set in World War II. And looking at the trailer, I'm not sure whether to be impressed or annoyed in some cases, because I am a person who's been playing the Call of Duty games for a very long time. I've been playing them since pretty much the very early days. I played pretty much the original World War II Call of Duty games, and the fact that this game is mainly going to concentrate on the final year of the war, not really sure if I'm to be impressed or not, because I've pretty much seen every single World War II Call of Duty game do that, like where you fight in France, Belgium and Germany, which is usually always the end point of most of the World War II Call of Duty games. And hell, even Call of Duty 3 focused on the entire Normandy invasion. So yeah, I'm not really sure whether to what to think about where they're gonna go with the campaign. I mean, hopefully it'll be decent. I mean, we're playing as the Americans again, which is kind of dull, because I mean, we're always playing as the Americans. I mean, I kind of want to see us play as the enemy for once. You never know, that could be interesting, but obviously that could meet with some controversy because, you know, Nazis and everything. And yeah, so, but I did find out at some point in the game you might play as a French resistance woman, which could be interesting. Which is something I haven't really seen since like probably one of the first Call of Duties where you play as a female Russian sniper, which is pretty nice to see that you get to play as a female character in a World War II setting. But other than that, you do get to play as the Americans again. I mean, it's two guys. I mean, I'm not really sure what to expect. There probably will be a story in here somewhere. I mean, there wasn't really much of a story in the original Call of Duty games. You just basically played a mission, did some objectives, and that was pretty much it. But it seems that there might be some sort of tension within the group or the company that you're in, which could be interesting to see how that like goes out throughout the game. But there is a bunch of interesting facts about the game so far that I have found out. And the fact is that they're going to be abandoning the whole regenerative health mechanic, which is very interesting. The fact that it's going back to the very original COD days is very interesting, because the only way you can heal yourself, apparently, is by making sure you have a medic nearby. And that's seems like a very interesting mechanic. And you also have like an ammunition guy who'll give you ammo throughout the battle, and it's apparently important to keep these guys alive, otherwise if they die they permanently are dead throughout the game, and this might cause a major effect on the character you play. So this is two very interesting mechanics that might actually make me play the game. Because, as you can see, I didn't make a review on Infinite Warfare because I was practically done with Call of Duty after Black Ops 3, and seeing it Infinite Warfare wasn't learning from its mistakes, I basically just completely skipped that one. Though, World War II is gaining a little bit more of my interest. Not just the fact that it's going back to World War II, but because of a few new things it might be introducing that might actually help the franchise come back in some way. Maybe, I don't really know. I've pretty much lost faith in Call of Duty at this point. Or Activision in general. Activision are just arseholes. But nonetheless, I think it could be very interesting to see what they might do with this game in the future. Now, we don't really know anything about the multiplayer as of right now, other than the fact that it's boots on the ground. There's no jetpacks or any of the futuristic crap this time. But I'm really wondering what they are going to do with the multiplayer. Is it going to be like World at War's multiplayer? Because if it is, then that actually might be very interesting. Maybe they'll introduce vehicles. Maybe, hopefully. Doubt it, because it is Call of Duty and they never really do that, so I really don't know what to think of what the multiplayer will be. I really hope it'll be good, because not only has the campaigns in Call of Duty been going downhill ever since Modern Warfare 3, because Modern Warfare 3, in my opinion, was the first campaign that felt very poorly done, and then after that it was literally just a mess of campaigns. Like, there was just no effort put into them. The last one I felt like actually had some part of effort was probably Advanced Warfare. That had something going. It had something. But yeah, I really hope that like the campaign and the multiplayer are like decent for once, because the last decent Call of Duty game to have good multiplayer is Black Ops 2, in my opinion. After that, well, yeah, after that it's pretty much garbage. So I really don't know what Activision are planning to do with World War II. Hopefully we'll get to see like more things from World War II. I don't know if they'll be going back to World War II forever, because I mean, this might be a one-off. But I would like to see a World War II. What they should do with World War II is go back to the earlier years, because we've never had a World War II game where you go like back to like the original years, like 1939, 1940, 1941. You don't really go back to those years, which is sort of weird, because I mean, that's technically when the enemy was winning. But it would be interesting to see like those battles, because there were some interesting battles in those original years, in the starting years, and it would be interesting to see those. But sadly, from what I'm seeing in World War II, is that we're only going to be mainly playing as the Americans, so we're not going to get any British, Russians, none of them guys. We're not going to be in Italy or Africa, which kind of sucks. I really hope that there's actually going to be like some decent like things. From what I saw in the trailer, there is I did see like a sort of an anti-aircraft gun, so there might be going back to a point where there's set pieces throughout the game, because there were some kind of bits in the World War II games where there were set pieces, like you'd be a mission in the tanks, like a sort of an anti-aircraft gun or something that was done at some point. It will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they can do. That's the big problem I have though, is it's Activision, and we know what they're like with Call of Duty these days. They really don't put the effort in it anymore, which is what I'm worried about. It's like, I'm looking forward in some way to Call of Duty World War II, but I'm not really looking forward to it because I feel like it might just be another big disappointment. Hell, if it's as long as it's better than the recent Call of Duties that have come out, then they've achieved something. But other than that, I really don't know what to expect from it, since it comes out on November the 3rd. It'll be I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not really much information to give about it right now, but in my personal opinion, I just really hope that this might be a good Call of Duty game for once, instead of just being complete garbage, like usual. So yeah, maybe Call of Duty will make a comeback. We never know. We have no idea what to expect from it. So, that is in some ways my viewpoint on the Call of Duty World War II trailer. Oh yeah, one last thing, the fact that we have no idea who the villain is going to be. I mean, there is this one Nazi guy that just climb out of the tank and shoot you, but other than that, I'm not really sure who the main villain will be. Which could be interesting, since there never really were main villains in the original Call of Duty games. So it'll be interesting to see if it's just like the usual kind of just A to B missions where you just fight a bunch of enemies and then that's it. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with the whole villain route. So yeah, that's my viewpoint on the World War II, Call of Duty World War II trailer, and yeah, it could either mess up or it might be a comeback. We'll have to find out when it releases. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave a like down below, comment of what you think of the trailer, subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next random video.